And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Off the Post. I guess I could call a temporary sort of host, maybe. I don't know. Don't know how well that would go over with the boss man, but we'll go with that for now. Today we're going to be recapping the last night's USA versus Switzerland game, as well as previewing the second of the two Switzerland games. So before we get to that, let's jump in with our lovely panel of one and see how she's doing. Danica, how you doing today?
I am good. I'm hanging out in Phoenix. Like, I ended up getting a job in Denver, so I need to get my stuff together so I can eventually move out there. But so yeah, I'm good. But as I was just saying, it's like 95 degrees right now in Phoenix, and so it's very hot for fall.
Oh, yay, that's not fun. Hopefully Denver will be a little bit cooler for
Yeah,
you.
that's what I'm hoping.
All right. Well, before we get into the Switzerland game, just want to touch on something real quick. The end of season roster turnover has begun for the NWSL. This week they had the re-entry. That's what they're calling it, the re-entry wire process, where teams had to decide whether to sign players or offer them a contract, pick up their options. If they did decided not to pick up the option or give them a new contract, the player would be put on the re-entry wire for any other team to pick up. We had 13 players from different clubs, 6 from Boston, which is kind of surprising, but considering they finished last in the league, not really that much. We did have one player claimed. Seattle Reign picked up Sinead Farley, so they have her rights for next season. Did you have any quick thoughts on players waived? Any surprises for you?
Not really. I feel like I'm spacing on everyone who was waived now that we're talking about it. I feel like there's someone we were talking about that we were surprised about, but I'm failing at the moment. So I'm gonna no. I guess I'll say no. I have no thoughts on it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it was. I mean, I kind of figured Boston would cut loose a lot of players since they've had 3 really rough seasons and they have a lot of draft picks in what looks to be a strong draft. So my guess is they'll probably look to be using those to refill their ranks because they put six players out there. So a lot going to be a lot of turnover in Boston next season. So that aside, let's get into the recap. What are your expectations heading into this game, Danica?
I didn't really know what was going to happen. So many new people. Obviously, they started it with like the new and a lot of the like more veterans, but I didn't really know how it was going to mesh. You're going to have a lot of nerves, obviously, because it's your first cap, and then you're going to also have like the awkward chemistry because people who are used to playing together, other people not. And then we had this new like the 3-5-2, which was I just like with having Long and center back. I was really concerned as to what they were playing, especially because like the 3-5-2 position, like or the positioning works if you have like a really solid 3 back, like who are really experienced with each other and all, and then having Long, who's never played that position, like be the center part of that was just like an odd decision. So I was kind of really worried about what was going to go on with our defense. But I thought it was just going to be kind of a jittery game, I guess. I thought there'd be some like fast moments and then other times just like kind of a lot of disjointedness is really kind of what I was expecting going into it.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect either. Certainly not with that lineup. I was like kind of a little disappointed actually when I saw who Switzerland was bringing over because a lot of the players that they probably would have brought over are either sick or they're injured. So we didn't get to see the likes of Bachman, Crnogorcevic, the big stars that Switzerland usually relies on for these types of games are all out, so we didn't get to see those. So I was kind of expecting maybe not as much of a challenge from Switzerland as they normally would have given us, and kind of what we got. A little disappointed from them, obviously. Uh, let's go into the first half. Instead, thought about the lineup. What did you think about the first half?
I was bored, honestly, while watching it, and I was like trying to stay focused, but sometimes I feel like I would zone out. And I think that I felt like the energy honestly wasn't there, and I think that, or maybe it just wasn't happening. Nothing was happening, and they were pressing high, which I liked, and I love Dunn. And every time Dunn's on the ball, I feel like I always get really excited. She always says fun things. If she would lose the ball, she would track back and try and get it back. But like, just nothing was happening. So yeah, it'd be fun when she'd be on the ball, and then nothing would happen. You'd be like, well, okay. So I don't know. I felt like it was just Carly didn't really perform that much, which was sad. As we were talking about how we both have Carly as our like player, but yeah, I was just kind of bored, honestly.
Yeah, I'll co-sign. It was kind of a dull half. I mean, there were moments, like you said, a lot from Dunn, a few from Heath. It was just more of basically they had the ball for a lot of the half, but they just didn't really do anything with it. And we did get a couple of um, first first caps in the lineup. And Andy Sullivan at holding midfield, I thought she did a really good job. One or two moments you could see where it was her first time, but certainly did better than some other players we've tried out there. Lindsey Coran. Um, sorry, but it's just not working for me, especially not on an international level. So I think it might be time for Jill Ellis to consign that into the scrap heap of history. Um, and yeah, like you said, kind of a disappointing performance overall from Carly, which makes me a little sad, but she has those every now and then.
Mhm.
Games when they're on. I mean, every player has those.
Yeah, totally.
She's no different from them, just not really a great performance. The other first timer, Casey Short, not that great of a first half. A lot of turnovers. Her service, which has been really good with the Red Stars this season, was just not on. I don't know if it's because she was in a starting position higher than what she's used to, or if it was the nerves of the first cap, but it was just not a great start from her. Although she did pick it up in the second half.
Mm.
Let's go into the second half. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel bad taking away from the Flash fan who had three players in there, but it was a lot more exciting. There was a tale of two halves is the epitome of this. With Lynn just capitalizing on that like defensive mistake and getting the fastest goal for your first cap that was awesome. So I think everyone just got really energized. And we were talking before the show just how when you have so many new people, it was just like a fun like second half. Like everyone was having like a great time trying all this stuff. And so like I think you saw that throughout all of it. And then poor Casey Short having to play like two positions on your first cap, I feel like it's a lot of pressure on someone. But I think she did better more being put back a bit. But I don't know. I feel in general I just didn't really see much from her. But besides that, I think Lynn's really the person to be talking about. Not only did she like score the first goal, she then was like helping and assisting in other or playmaking on other goals, and so that was just really exciting to see. But yeah, I think the second half, like compared to me, like what? Oh yeah, sorry, I'm focused. Like to now the second half, you're like, yeah, this is great, I love it. So I think it was really different. Yeah, I really liked the second half.
Yeah, the second half was so much better for me. I mean, you honestly could not have a better impact than what Lynn Williams have. Come in and then less than a minute later score your first goal. That was, I had the biggest smile on my face from that. That was amazing. And then, like you said, she was involved in. She would have gotten what they give out in soccer, the secondary assist on Press's goal, helping set up O'Hara to make that cross and then Press getting in. Tobin Heath, great to see her get a goal when the team was honoring Lauren Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Hope everything's going well for you, Cheney. We're pulling for you here. Um, so yeah, um, great to see Tobin score. And we had more first timers come in. We had Ashley Hatch come in for her debut. Makes sense a little bit since she does go to BYU. It's her hometown. Don't know if she'll play Sunday. She didn't really do too much, but I think I don't know if she didn't have the time or she just wasn't able to really get involved or what, but didn't get to see a whole lot from her. So yeah, it could have been first timers. And the other one for me, Abby Dahlkemper getting her first cap. So that was an exciting one for me too. Yeah, I liked what we got to see in the few minutes. I mean, by that time, Switzerland was gassed. They won't really didn't really do too much pushing forward, so she wasn't really under too much pressure. I hopefully maybe like to see her start on Sunday. Don't know if that'll happen, but one can always hope. And then Sam Mewis, like Glenn Williams, coming in and then barely a minute later getting a touch on the ball, getting her first touch on the ball being a goal. I mean, how awesome is that? So
it was also an awesome goal, like not just like a goal, but like a good goal. So that was cool, yeah.
Yeah, really, really good second half for all of my Flash girls. So proud.
Well,
So
and then
yeah,
speaking of Hatch, that reminds me, like, so Ojai didn't start, and it's her home state. And I know as a Dash fan, as an Ojai fan, obviously to a degree, I was sad, like, oh, that would have been nice. And I know there's a lot of talk about this. I just want to say, like, this is the professional level. This is like the national level. Like, so what? It's her home state. If she didn't like earn her spot on the 18 roster, she's not gonna play. So although people are like, oh, come on, Jill Ellis, like, come on, like, no, come on. She needs to earn it beyond just happening to be at her home state. So sorry, I just wanted to quickly let that go.
And that is actually a good point. There was talk of disappointment that Ohio wasn't on the bench in her home state. A lot of disappointment that Ashlyn Harris wasn't starting on her birthday. You know what? I'll give you Jill Ellis credit for not being super sentimental and sticking with that and going. I'm gonna put what I think is gonna be the best, what I want to see. Sorry, you're not going to be able to get in your home state in your birthday. Maybe next time. So good on you, Jill Ellis. I don't say that very much, but good on you for sticking to what your plan is, regardless of where the game is and on what day it is. So good on that. Don't really have anything because don't really have much else to add. It was again much more energetic second half, a lot of fun. A couple players getting some goals. I really like to see that. So yeah, it was just normal USA running over a lesser team friendly. So do you have any final thoughts on this one?
No, I mean, I think that Jill Ellis is experimenting, as I think everyone says experimentation so much lately that I think I'm ready to slap that word. But, like, I mean, there's a lot of, obviously, I don't think having a long and center back was, like, the decision I would have made. But if you're going to go wild, do it now. So, you know what? She can do whatever. It's friendly. We'll see how it goes. I guess that's the whole point. So, yeah, that's just my final thoughts on it.
Yeah, I have one final thought. Seems like everybody's jumping on the Lynn Williams bandwagon. People that a month ago were like, "Who?" And I am like torn between amused that everybody's waking up to how awesome Lynn Williams is because she is awesome, and a little bit annoyed because she's been doing this all year. I mean, even last year, she didn't exactly light up the scoreboard, but she had those good moments. She had a couple games last season where she was, it looked like the Flash were going to lose, and then she'd pop up with a late equalizer. I'm like, and then now everybody wants to know. I'm like, where were you when when all of us Flash fans knew how awesome she was? Where were you guys? Come on. So
basically.
But that's just a minor annoyance. So yeah, and that's more than just me. I don't know how every Flash fan feels about that. Just this.
Basically, all the Flash fans are hipsters. They like to win first. Give it to them. All right.
Exactly. We liked Lynn Williams before it was cool to like Lynn Williams. So anyway, that was the game. Nice 4-0 win for the U.S. We have second of two games coming up on Sunday. Sunday. What are you expecting going into this?
I think that we'll probably dominate more so than we did in our first game. I think one, just probably like Swiss will be tired. Two, I think that we're probably gonna stick with the three. Maybe not, but we might stick with the 3-5-2 because like she probably wants to solidify, like actually give people more experience trying that. That is like what she wants to be like doing. Roster wise, I think it's gonna be that same thing where you have mainly veterans with only a couple of new blood, then like gradually get more and more new blood in there to like kind of end it out. Who that new blood is, I'm not 100% sure. I think it'll probably be depending on who's like, because whenever you're doing a roster, there's going to be a couple of people vying for those bottom spots. And so I think whoever didn't get a play, who was vying, who just kind of got knocked off this time, I think they'll get their shot. Hopefully that's Ojai, but if it's not, then well, she got the call up and maybe she gets another one. So that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, I kind of like to see a little bit more of a shakeup. Maybe even one or two veteran players not dressing for this one. Allie Long. Yeah, she had her chance, and while she wasn't horrible, I never want to see Allie Long on the field ever in the next kid. So I'm hoping that maybe I'd like to see, instead of Long in there, maybe start Dahlkemper in that role.
That's what I didn't get why she didn't just do in the beginning.
I guess because she wants Allie Long to start, and she already had other players she wanted to see. So yeah, maybe I'm hoping to see Abby Dahlkemper start. I'd like to see more game time for both Lewis and Williams, who I think did really well. I'll co-sign on the wanting Ojai to start. We already know we won't see Jane Campbell because she's already gone back to school, and Ellis was up front before last night's game that she won't play in this but she will get called back into camp. So, let her go back to Stanford, let her be with her college team. And yeah, maybe try out a player like put in the ones that weren't gonna, like Gilliland, or even, I know most people don't like her, maybe give Shea Groom a run out. Try new things, Jill Ellis. You want to experiment? Leave some of these veterans off. Give some more newbies a chance. Give us Danny Colaprico. Come on. You've been teasing us with that for so long. Give it to us. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm looking for. Any last comments from you before we sign off?
No, I'm just excited to see the game and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. I mean, I this is the most excited I've been for the national team in, I can't remember. I mean, yeah, there was the Olympics, but there wasn't that level of excitement of fresh players, of new things being tried, because we were going into a major tournament. There wasn't, really time for that. Now that there's almost 3 years until 2 years until potential World Cup qualifying. Don't know when that's going to be, because the U.S. does have to qualify. It's not automatic. There's 2 years. It's the perfect time for Jill Ellis to do this stuff. Don't freak out if certain players are not on the roster. Like I said, I'm not expecting Carly to be named for the roster for the Romania friendlies. And everybody knows I'm a huge fan of Carly. It'll be a slight disappointment, but it'll be like, oh, okay, we'll see what kind of new players get put in, see what they can do. So, like I said, when the roster for this game was released, don't freak out if a player you like is not on it. It doesn't mean they're cut for good. It just means Joe Ellis is trying to see other people. So give them a chance. Still go to these games if you have the opportunity, and you can look back at 10 years and say, I got to see that player play in her first game, and that was a really nice memory for me. So just my final thought. That'll do it for us. Tune in on Sunday to watch round 2 of US versus Switzerland, and we will be back on air. Don't know exactly when, but we'll be back to recap that and look forward to the upcoming Romania games. So until then, it's been another episode of Off the Post, and we do the wave. Bye-bye.